In this video, we're going to learn how to solve multi-step word problems by using this 5-step word problem attack plan. Okay, so let's break down each step before I show you an example, and then you get to try a word problem on your own. Okay, our first step is to read the problem. What is this problem about? I don't know, is it about monkeys or apples or who knows? We just want to know, what is this problem about in general? Okay, number two is to figure out, what is the problem asking us? Do they want to know how much, right? Or in total? Or do they want to know how much more do we need? Or what do we have all together? Usually, when they ask the question, there's going to be some kind of keyword which will give us an idea of what we need to do with the problem. So this is very important. What are they asking? Okay, number three, plan it out. So, what is the best way to solve this problem? So this is where we're going to figure out what we're going to do. Do we need to figure out what all these people have first and then divide it out a bunch of other people, or do we need to subtract out something first and then multiply? Right? How do we solve this problem? And usually I like to draw a little model or a map or a diagram to figure this out. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and use our operations to solve the problem. So do we add everything up first and then divide? Do we multiply and then subtract? Who knows? But once we've found out our operation and found out our answer, we want to go ahead and check it. We're going to do that by saying, does my answer make sense? Okay, so if we're adding all of these things together, right, our answer should be bigger than what we started with. So is our answer bigger? Or if we're sharing something with a bunch of other people, our answer should get smaller. So does our answer make sense, and does the units line up? If we're talking about apples in this problem and we end up with an answer of 42 miles, that might not make sense, right? So we want to make sure our answer makes sense with the numbers and the units, and then you can go ahead and check your math, right? We always do the opposite when we're checking our math. So if it's a multiplication problem, we can check it by dividing. If it's an addition problem, we can check it by subtracting, and vice versa. Okay, so that's our attack plan. We want to know, what is the problem about? What is it asking? What's the best way to solve it? What operations are we going to use? And then, does our answer make sense? So let's go ahead and put that into action with our first example that I'll do for you. Here we have a question. Beth has 4 bags of green apples and 5 bags of red apples. Each bag of green apples contains 20 apples. Each bag of red apples contains 50 apples. So how many apples does Beth have in all? So what is this problem about? Well, to me, this problem is about some apples that are in bags, and Beth has a bunch of apples. Okay, that makes sense. And what are they asking us? Well, down here, they ask us, how many apples does Beth have in all? So I know I'm going to have to put everything together to find my final answer of in all, and that's usually addition. Okay, so what's the best way to solve this problem? Well, there's like 2 different kinds of apples, and I know that I've got to figure out each one separately, right? Because they're talking about green apples have a certain amount, and then red apples have a certain amount. So let's go ahead and take a look. The green apples, there's 4 bags of green apples. So we make a little bag. There's 4 of these bags of green apples, and there's 5 bags of red apples. Boy, is my bag not a very good picture. Yeah, I'm not an art teacher. So we've got 5 red bags and 4 green bags. Now we need to know how many apples are inside each one. So let's see, each bag of green apples holds 20. Okay, and each red bag has 50. Okay. So I know if I go ahead and I figure out how many green apples there are and how many red apples there are, at the end we want to know how many there are in all. So I'm going to go ahead and add these 2 things together. So I'm going to add up all my green apples and all my red apples. So how many green apples do we have? Well, we have 4 bags of 20. So that's going to be 4 times 20 equals 80. And then how many red bags do we have? We have 5 bags of 50. So 5 times 50 equals 250. And we said earlier we're going to add them all together, right? So that's going to be what? 300 and, boy, my mind went blank there for a second. 330. 8 plus 5 is 13, and then 1 plus 2 is 3. So here we have 330 apples. So make sure you're writing the unit as well. 330 apples, okay? If we would have got something like 330 miles, we would have known we were off on that one. So we've done our operation. We've gotten our answer of 330. Does it make sense? Well, we're still talking about apples, and we started with bags of 20 and bags of 50, and we're combining them all, so our answer should get bigger. So our answer did get bigger, 330. Now we can check our math and say 80 divided by 4 is 20. That's good. 250 divided by 5 is 50. That's good. And then we can just look at this math again. So we could do 330 minus, say, 250. And it should give us 80. Let's see if it does. We have a 0, 2, 13, 8 here, and a 0. Yeah, it gives us 80. So everything checks out. We've gone through all of our steps. We found out what is the problem about, what are they asking, the best way to solve it. We've done the operations, and then we've checked our work. And we found that we have 330 apples. Okay, so now I've done the problem, but we already know I can do the problem. Can you do it? Okay, so now you're going to get a chance to do this problem on your own. Okay, here's your problem. A new tablet costs $329. Abby, Sarah, and Emily want to buy the tablet together. Abby has $80, Sarah has $74, and Emily has $100. How much more money would they need in order to buy the tablet? Okay, so I want you to follow the 5 steps and see if you can do this one on your own. What I want you to do is go ahead and hit pause now, get out your paper, try to solve it, and then when you're finished, come on back, unpause it, and I'll reveal the answer. Okay, so go ahead and do that now. I'm going to reveal the answer. Are you done? I hope so. I'm going to reveal the answer in 3, 2, 1. Our answer is $75. Okay, and the dollars is our unit. So they need $75 more in order to buy that tablet. Okay, let me show you how I got that answer. So when I'm looking at this, I want to know, what is this problem about? Well, to me, this is about a bunch of girls who are trying to buy a tablet. Okay, and what are they asking? Where's the question? How much more money do they need to buy the tablet? So how much more? So to me, when we're asking a how much more question, that means eventually I'm going to have to subtract. Okay, so what's the best way to solve this problem? Well, I know that like our end goal is to have $329, right? That's how much this thing costs. So we've got to get up to this amount eventually. So I want to figure out how much money each girl has, and then we can take that away from the 329, right? How much more to find our answer. So you could do this, you do 329 minus 80, and then take that amount minus 74, that amount minus 100. But I would rather add up all the money first and then take it away from the price. I think it's going to be a little bit simpler. So let's do that. So Abby has 80, Sarah has 74, and Emily has 100. So let's go ahead and add that all up. We end up with 4, 15, carry the 1, $254. So that's how much money all the girls have together. Now our final step is to take it away from our original amount of 329. So let's go ahead and do that. So 329 minus 254. 9 minus 4 is 5. We need to borrow 2 and 12. We have a 7 here and nothing else. So that's where we got our $75. Okay, you can go ahead and check it. Go ahead and make sure it makes sense, and you end up with the $75. Okay, I hope you understand a little bit better now a different strategy on how to solve multi-step word problems. If you're interested in some online private math tutoring, you can visit www.mathradio.com or contact me directly and ask any questions you have at scott@mathradio.com. Okay, I'll see you next time.